Timeout Show is brought to you tonight by Coach B's Driving School at CoachB'sDrivingSchool.com, the Hillsdale Travel Center, Jack Smith Agency, Performance Automotive, and Randy's Auto Body. Our guest tonight is C.J. Mifsud. C.J. Mifsud is the starting quarterback for the Hillsdale College Charger football team that is 1-1 so far this year. C.J., how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not as good as you. You're QB1, man. Congratulations.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
You had a long road, and to be honest with you, CJ, as a play-by-play guy, not in your meetings and not at practices, honestly, I didn't think you'd ever be the QB1 at Hillsdale College, and I think that your story is a really good one, and that's why I wanted to have you in tonight. Obviously, your brother Anthony was the starting quarterback at Hillsdale College. Your father Dave was a member of the football team at Hillsdale College as well and is now a high school coach. So you've got a long lineage at Hillsdale College. You come in and put in your time, and Mark LaPrairie last year was named the starting quarterback of the Chargers, and it looked like you'd be a backup to him the rest of the way. Was there a point when you thought it was just never going to happen for you?
I mean, sometimes it got frustrating, but I really felt like I understood my role as a backup and just had to prepare myself for when the time came, if it came, to be ready to just do my job and take over if need be.
That's a tough mentality for me to wrap my head around, because you guys coming out of high school, all you guys are very successful players. You're very competitive. There's always a little bit of swagger that comes along with that. Now, I know your Dave and Anthony, your brother Anthony and your father Dave, very humble people, and I get that same vibe with you. But you also want to compete, right? I mean, you want to be out there on Saturdays playing, so you just have to bide your time?
Yeah, that's kind of how it was. It made it a little easier that my brother was a starter when I first got here for the first couple of years, because I didn't think I was ever going to play over him. So
yeah, right.
That made it a little bit easier, just dealing with that part of it.
So last year, Mark LaPrairie is the quarterback. He's going through the season, had a lot of success early on. Later on in the year, the team started to struggle a little bit. And then take us to the Tiffin game. Mark got banged up. Obviously, you had to come in and finish the game, and obviously I was there. And you sparked the team. When you came out there, I felt like there was a spark, and you guys picked it up a little bit. Obviously, you didn't want Mark to get hurt. Nobody's suggesting that. But you said it all along. You had to be ready for your opportunity, right?
Right, that's right. Just you got to be ready for things like that to happen. That's just the job of a backup quarterback. Just got to be ready to step up when that time comes, and then just do your best to execute what you've been taught and just try to lead your team.
When that happens and you're a backup and the starter gets hurt and you know you're going to go in, how nervous do you get really quickly?
Well, in that case against Tiffin, I was standing there charting plays on the sideline. So I had a clipboard in my hand, and Mark goes down, and there's that little bit of shock right away. And then I'm running to go get my helmet because I don't even have my helmet in my hands. And then at that point, there was a little bit of excitement. Like, I'd never played before, so I was getting to go in finally. And then after that, just kind of had to take a deep breath and step back and just relax and just execute whatever I needed to do in that moment.
How many reps does the backup get at practice? I mean, do you get enough reps so that you can run pretty much the entire game plan if need be?
I'd say the backups get about half the reps that the ones get, which obviously isn't as many as them. But we watch film, and you just got to get mental reps when you're not in and really learn from the other guys that are in.
Does Coach Otter, though, when he puts a backup in, does he have the full playbook at his disposal, or does he have to cut down on his options a little bit because the backup's in there?
That I don't know exactly. We've never gone over that. But I'm guessing it's a little more condensed and not going to be maybe a little more conservative with the backup in there.
You split time with Mark last year after that Tiffin game and actually got into 3 games and had a little bit of success. What did Otter tell you guys at the end of the season about the quarterback position? Some people might expect, well, it's Mark's job. He got hurt, but he's still the starting quarterback. Did he tell you that it was going to be an open competition, or did you think that Mark was still going to be the starter? How did they approach that with you at the end of the year last year?
They kind of said once we got into the spring and the spring practices that it was going to be open competition, not just between the two of us, but between
everybody.
Everybody at that point. So no decisions were made before spring at all.
So that gave you that seemed to show you that there was an opportunity, right?
Yeah, definitely. I thought I did my best out there, and I was going to get another opportunity to compete for the starting job.
I talked to Coach about you on Saturday, and I he's really proud of you and how far you've come along. And I asked him, what put him over the top, and he talked about the work you did on your own time, not during spring practice, not during the organized practices that the team has, but just getting better individually on your own. Can you take me a little bit deeper into what he was talking about and the program you were on to make yourself better?
Well, we're very lucky here that they let us go home as much as we do over Christmas break and over the summer especially, because not a lot of college football teams and football players get to do that over the summer. But they'd also trust us a lot with that, to work hard and keep getting better on our own and not take a big step back after spring practice and then coming into the fall. So that was my mentality, was I just got to keep getting better over the summer and just always keep improving and keep working hard.
Can you give me some specifics about what you worked on?
Well, I was very lucky that these past 2 summers, actually, my cousin, who is a wide receiver at Albion College, he lived with me, with my parents, and that was like the perfect situation. We were able to work out together, and then just working on throwing, and then he was working on his routes, and then I got to throw to every day.
Is your dad out there with you, giving you some pointers?
No, he's a little busy with his guys.
So did you have a coach or somebody trying to help your development, or were you doing it a lot on your own?
There was one time over the winter I went and worked with a quarterback coach who I had worked with before when I was younger in high school, Terry Kolpesha, out of the Detroit area. I worked with him a little bit.
We're talking to the quarterback of the Hillsdale College Chargers, C.J. Mifsud. In his senior year, his team is 1-1, and they will travel to Northern Michigan University for a 4 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. We'll have that ball game for you here on WCSR. Sometime over the summer, I'm sure you got the news through social media or somebody let you know. Maybe it even happened in the spring. I don't know when the official announcement was made, but Chance Stewart, who had played at the Division I level, or was at least on the team at Wisconsin and then at Western Michigan, was coming into the program. And I think there were a lot of people attached to Hillsdale College football that thought, well, he's just going to take over right now. He's going to be the quarterback this year. And I talked to several people who were surprised that he wasn't the quarterback coming out of the gates this fall. The kid has never really played, and he's got 3 years of eligibility left after this year. What did you think of Chance when you met him, and what does he kind of bring for the future of this program?
First off, he's a really nice guy, great kid. I think he's pretty humbled by his experiences. He just kind of dealt a tough hand, but glad to have him here at the program. He's working really hard, and as long as there's always a level of competition, especially at the quarterback position, that's just going to make whoever ends up playing even better.
Because it's not just Chance Stewart next year. I mean, there are other guys that are going to be vying for that position too, right?
Right, that's right, yeah.
But it's yours this year. And you don't look like a guy who's about to give it up anytime soon.
No, I don't plan on it.
No, C.J. Mifsud preparing for the game this weekend against Northern. Let's talk about the year so far. Findlay was just incredibly dynamic offensively week number 1. You guys kind of struggled to get some things going early on, but you stayed competitive, especially late in that game. I thought you rallied pretty well in the second half of that game. Did Coach Otter talk about some positives, just the way you finished that Findlay game?
Yeah, in any situation like that, it's pretty important to take some positives out of that and see the good things that we did and learn from that, aside from just looking at all the negative parts. But yeah, there definitely we were able to learn from some of those good things we did as well as some of the bad things.
What were your thoughts? I think it was different for you in that game. You got a home opener. You're named the starter for the season of the Hillsdale College Chargers. I know you take a lot of pride in that, having your family gone here. Did it feel a little bit different coming into that game, knowing that this was your team now and they're looking at you to lead the team to victory?
I don't know if it felt any different. I just wanted to go out there and give our team the best chance to win the game. I didn't feel any extra responsibility or anything like that. I just wanted to go out there and do my job.
In that first game against Findlay, 20 of 31 with a touchdown. You put some yardage up on the board as well. So throwing that first touchdown to start the season and kind of get the juices going a little bit propelled you into the game Saturday where You guys had a lot of success as well, and were able to get the win, obviously, at home. What is that like to get a win at home in front of your home fans on Saturday?
Well, anytime we get to first victory of the season and it's at home at night and that good atmosphere, that was pretty fun, especially when we were able to do so many good things on offense and defense. Just fun to be out there at night in front of the home fans and get that first win.
It just seems like Bennett Lewis is rejuvenated this year. I know he's suffered with some injuries the last couple of years, but this year it looks like he's running free. And frankly, the backs that you guys are rotating in there with what Wade Wood has done, Joe Reverman, the freshman as well, these guys are formidable in the offensive backfield, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been doing a great job, especially with the offensive line too. They've been doing a great job up front, and then that just opens up so many more parts of our offense when they're doing well.
You have some targets out there. John Haley is a guy who really was a dynamic offensive playmaker last year, and then you've got a lot of young kids too. Taylor Cohn, the Brian Newmans of the world as well. These freshmen on your team, we mentioned Reverman, but there are other freshmen as well on your football team that have made plays and have had to step up defensively. Your middle linebacker's a freshman. What has it been like for these young guys to make this contribution so far this season?
It's been great that they've been able to step up, and it's just kind of the thing we talk about a lot, just being ready when your time's called, and those young guys have done a great job with that.
All right, last thing, and I'll let you go. Northern Michigan this Saturday. It seems like half of the challenge when you play them is just the trip itself. It's a long bus ride. You said you're leaving Friday morning for that, so you'll be up there all weekend pretty much. Take me into the game plan against Northern Michigan. What are some things offensively that you know you're going to have to do to win that game?
Well, we're going to try to run the ball just like we did on Saturday. That'd be great if we're able to have success with that, and then our passing game should work off of that. But they got some athletes on defense, but we're just going to have to just execute and do our jobs offensively and take care of business there.
Do you guys like those long road trips, or do you really dread it?
I don't think anybody enjoys a 9-hour car ride, but we get going up there early, so we're there Friday night, and we'll be able to get a walkthrough in and spend the night Friday. So it's not like we're traveling up Saturday morning and getting there Saturday morning before the game, so it's not too bad. We get a good night's rest before the game.
Well, CJ, it's a great story. You just continue to fight. We've talked about it a couple of times on the radio broadcast, but it looked like it wasn't going to happen for you to be the starter. You kept in there and you kept fighting and you kept improving. And, some people don't do well with obstacles like that. And you found a way to overcome it, and now you've earned a starting position for Hillsdale College. And, who knows what could happen this year. You've got some good young talent on the squad. I know you've got excellent coaching. I think that Coach Otterbein and his staff do a sensational job. So you've got to be excited for what the season holds, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm really excited, especially what we've been able to do in these first couple games, minus the first couple drives against Finley.
Right.
I think offensively we've shown some good promise, and I think there's a bright future for us. C.J.
Mifsud is the quarterback for Hillsdale College. You'll hear about his ball game up at Northern Michigan on Saturday. C.J., we wish you all the best this year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We'll bring back in MP and Swaggy Bees here as well. We'll do that right after this on the Timeout Show.